So in your reading this week by Lens Taguchi, he talks about onto epistemologies, so ways of knowing and being. Epistemology is the study of how we know what we know, how knowledge is cultivated, and it focuses on thinking processes, how thought is made. Ontology is the study of being and becoming, how reality is lived, how we exist on earth, how things exist and perform in relation within particular social contexts. So epistemology is more about thinking, and ontology is about the doing, how something actually exists and is. So then onto epistemology then links thinking and being as inherently related. And in education, our onto epistemological beliefs ground us in our educational orientations. So for example, if we arrive at education from an epistemological orientation that sees knowledge as a truth that can be acquired through discovery and study in the pursuit of, definitive knowledges or some sort of absolute truth, then the educational experiences that we enact with children, our pedagogies, then reflect that orientation. So onto epistemology is a really important thing to think about and really get to know better as educators, because it really does inform how we perform pedagogically. So Lens Taguchi speaks of two forms of knowledge production. And though there are many variations of these, he speaks about transcendental knowing and immanence. So he draws on Karen Broad's quote, when she writes, quote, "We're not outside observers of the world, nor are we simply located at particular places in the world. Rather, we are part of the world in its ongoing intra-activity." And intra is a central word here because it infers that we are not only in, but of. So this orientation is not social constructivist theory, which I'm sure that many of you have already studied in this program. While social constructivist theory has a much more human-centered focus, where knowledge is produced through languages and exchanges between peoples, posthuman and new materialist theory that Karen Broad is speaking to here radically reconfigures the position of the human in knowing and being. So here, it's not only humans that matter in the making of knowledges and worlds, which thus moves us past only epistemology and situates thinking and being more in terms of a doing and in relation with others, because it's not only about the human mind or human thought. So transcendental knowledge posits that humans are able to acquire absolute truth that represent and are presented. Humans are positioned as separate from the world as they're able to define it and know it absolutely. Yet something that I was thinking about this week is a quote by Toni Morrison, who didn't orient as a posthuman philosopher or theorist, but I think that this quote by her is relevant here.